Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, I'm here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, don't adjust your phone. Don't adjust your computer screen. That's just right. We are here on a Tuesday here for In Your House. And man, I've got to tell you, lately, a lot of things have been going down in the wrestling world, and man, I got to tell you, it's great to see. It's great to see. It keeps me going, keeps me wanting to keep doing this. And man, I would be remiss to not mention that I checked out Monday Night Raw and I saw everything that went down as far as Naomi. Now, as far as Monday Night Raw, I talk about everything Monday Night Raw on Wednesdays with Annie O'Neil. So I'll give you my full thoughts on Monday Night Raw at that point. But man, I got to tell you, the Naomi news was really, really big. And we're going to talk about that. But hey, speaking of big news, I got a big guest here. And I was super excited to get my man here on the show because he is doing some amazing things, like off the charts, amazing things that as soon as I saw that he was doing it, I was like, man, this is perfect for him. And then he went and did it. We saw the photos drop all over social media and everything. And the first thing that came to my mind is, man, this cat did something that every wrestler says that they want to do. I mean, as somebody who keeps an eye on the business as much as I do, I see many wrestlers that say they want to do something like go to Japan. But I just don't. There is a small percentage of wrestlers that actually accomplish that feat. And not only is he an international superstar, he is also the Emerge World Heavyweight Champion, two-time Emerge World Heavyweight Champion. He's the world's most dangerous game. The leader of the tribe himself, Paragon, is here. He returns to In Your House. What is up, man?
What is up? What is up? And also, don't forget, I am still the world's most dangerous podcaster whenever I can have the time.
Yes.
Host of Dear Pro Wrestling on the In Your House network. And I am honestly feeling blessed. Like, no hyperbole, not being full, like, character. No, I'm being full transparent. This experience, whether it was regaining the Emerge Championship, whether it was my excursion to Japan, whether it's just how life has been treating me presently, I have been feeling blessed, and I can't thank enough the people who allowed these opportunities to happen. But I also can't thank people who've had my back like a memory foam mattress, and you being one of them. I mean, you and I go back quite a ways, and you were one of the first ones to show love and congratulate me when the announcement was made that I'd even be going to Japan. which I didn't get all of when I first announced it. I had a couple of people of why not me. So the fact that, knowing you got somebody in your corner, that does a lot for you.
Oh no, I definitely hear what you're saying, brother. Because it's like I said at the top of this show, man. It's a thing where it's like everybody wants to say. Every wrestler says they want to go to Japan. I mean, I could talk to 100 wrestlers right now, P, and I guarantee you that 100 wrestlers would say, "Yeah, I'd like to go to Japan." But like what that is that's not easy, man. So like you doing that, and like I know you were already an international star beforehand because you wrestled in Canada, but this hits so different, man. So like let me walk me through it. Walk me through not the trip yet. We're definitely gonna get there, and then I gotta get some of your thoughts about Naomi. We'll bring it up later on in the pod, but like take me through when you locked it in, when you locked in the trip, when you did everything you had to do, you got with the promoters and things were set up and you were locked in and you were like, damn, I'm going to Japan. What was that? What was that moment like for you when it set in and you're like, dang, it's all locked in, this is secured?
So I'm gonna be real with you. It didn't feel real until I got on the bus heading to the venue. And
Wow,
it's
okay.
gonna sound weird because it's like you're gonna think, the ticket got paid for, the hotel got paid for, the arrangements got made. You get on your flight, you get to the hotel, you're in Japan. But it wasn't until I was on the bus, drove to the meeting spot, the big homie Kyoya, the inflexible bull out there in Japan, picked up myself, Aaron Daniel Norman, took us to the venue, and once I stepped foot in the venue, that's when it was like, I'm here. I'm actually here. And on top of that, like I got my ticket, and it was you had a lot of people that kept asking you how you feel about it, like how are you feeling about going to Japan? Are you excited that you're there yet? And I just kept telling people like it doesn't feel real yet. It doesn't feel real yet, especially because to me, reality is once I'm there. You know, like a lot of times for wrestling shows, people ask me, "Are you excited for your show?" And I always say, "I'll be excited when I get there," because
All right.
stuff happens. Stuff happens. There's been times where I was on my way to a show and got hurt and got injured and then was down for a couple of months, or on my way to a show got in a car accident or the car stopped working. On my way to a show had a family situation happen. So it's like one of those. I just have trained myself not to get excited until I get there, but it truly did not feel real until I stepped off that plane. And it sucks because I feel like I wanted to be excited when I got the plane ticket. I wanted to be excited when I got the hotel. I wanted to be excited when the flyer was getting posted and I was sharing it. I wanted to be excited when I landed in fucking Tokyo. Like I was in Tokyo, my guy, you
Yeah, yeah,
know?
that's crazy work, man.
And that was just a connecting flight, but I'm here in Tokyo and I'm like, man, I should be so excited. And yet my heart and my brain were both locked into this agreement of it's not real until we get there.
Right.
Like I didn't even
Right.
really sleep the night before. Like I slept all about 3 hours, if that. Mind you, I had hours to sleep, but my body was like, no, we got business to do. We got work to
Yeah.
do. We got a hunting grounds to cover.
Right. 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 How long? How many hours was the trip?
Oh shoot. So first and foremost, Japan is 13 hours ahead of East Coast time.
Okay. Okay.
So the time that we currently are sitting in, they're 13 hours ahead. So I left at 6 a.m. in the morning, and then I didn't get to my final destination. And mind you, that's also because I ended up missing my flight, my connecting flight in Tokyo. So I didn't
Yeah.
get to
Yeah.
my
I know you
final
posted about that.
destination. Yeah, and that's if you just take me just landing. If you take me just landing, I didn't get to my final destination until 9 p.m. their time, which means that I wouldn't have gotten to. So that was about a 20. That was about like 28 hours.
20, yeah, about to say about 27, 28 hours, man. That's a long trip. That's a hell of a trip, man. What'd you do in that time? What were you doing on the flight?
I'm gonna be real with you. First of all, Japanese flights are a whole different ball game because
Yeah.
those flights have TVs built into the seats,
Okay.
and they have TV shows you can watch, movies you can watch. You can look at the plane while it's flying and see the plane cameras and see where you're at on the outside of the plane, no matter what seat you're in. They have a
Wow.
map that shows where you're at in the world while you're flying. So you get tapped in with some of that, you know. Brought snacks on the plane. I was gonna bring my Switch, but I was so locked in, I forgot to bring it when I was packing because I was like
Sure.
the essentials, only the essentials. But yeah, I mean, while I was on the plane, I was writing, whether it was writing some stand up comedy, working on some music, thinking about the things I wanted to say when I made posts. When I eventually did certain things.
Right.
I got to finally watch this show called Tulsa King that has Sylvester Stallone in it. Got to watch season one of that. Um, got to watch some movies that I have been wanting to watch for a while and got to finally check off.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and on top of that, they were giving us actual full meals and snacks on that plane too. Like
Oh,
they
okay. All
gave us,
right.
yeah, I got two full meals on that plane. I got some pretty good snacks. They had this, uh, it was a cream cheese pudding bread. And you hear that, you're like, what the hell is this? But it was like a cream filled pastry. It was real good. It was really delicious.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it was a whole vibe flying out there. But that's how I kept myself occupied. And when I wasn't doing that, I was trying to sleep.
Yeah, I get
Just
it.
trying to
I
catch
get
all
it,
the
man.
winks and
Yeah, yeah. Get some of that sleep, man. Hey, I want to hop in the chat real quick because we got it going right now. We got it cracking. We got Gary Emmett in there. He says two of my favorite people. Paragon is one of the best on the mics, hand down, indies and majors. I've flanked and been side by side with this man, so I can tell you I agree with that. Great on the mic. Didn't need me there, but always gracious to be there. Then Gary goes on to say nothing but love, house number love for you, my guy. It's all vibes. You already know it. And then Summer comes in, Summer Ross, and she was a guest on the Raw Deal a few weeks ago. She says House and Paragon. Yes, we have Paragon here, and he is a great talent that I've got to work with for many years. Happy to see that you've had this opportunity, man, to go to Japan, and I want to continue that conversation because you said that we were talking about the process here. Of course, we're going to get to the point where you touched down, where you actually got backstage, and in the moment when you realized you wrestled in a Japanese promotion on Japanese territory. Very cool. Can't wait to hear that. But it's a process, man, trying to get there. And like I said earlier, and you said it as well. I noticed that you posted, man, I missed my connecting flight, and when I saw that, I was like, oh, that sucks, man. There's something that's such a cool moment. It sucks when something like that happens, but how did you pivot in that moment, bro? What was that like for you?
so I missed my connecting flight due to customs, and that one really hurt. That one really
Hmm.
sucked because if you're going to fly internationally, you have to go through customs. But what sucks is if you're going through customs and have a connecting flight because you go through customs, and if you don't have enough time between customs and your connecting flight, you're going to miss it.
All right.
And my bag was the very last bag off the plane.
Mm.
So because it was the first bag on the plane, it was the last one off the plane. It was one of those things that me getting to the airport early kind of screwed me over.
Man, that
Um,
sucks, man.
and so that was a very hard process. And the thing is, and this is what I would definitely recommend. I was even going to potentially talk about this on DPW, but if you are going to go to another country, one, do your damnedest to try to learn the language,
All right.
especially because we have this entitlement as Westerners and as English speakers. I won't just say Americans because
That
I saw it
everybody
with
should just
other,
know English. You just assume everybody knows English.
or you want them to, and that's what I'm saying. Like I saw this with people who weren't American. I saw this with people who were British. I saw this with people who were Australian. I did not see this with this particular person. I just wanted to point out that there was an Arabic person there who had a perfect American accent.
Right.
When he
Oh,
was
okay.
speaking English. Like I was like, "Where are you from?" And he told me,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Nah, where are you from?" Because
Where are you
your
really
English
from?
is still good. Like it was almost the opposite. Like, sometimes people sadly here will see somebody who looks different and they're like, "Where are you from?" And they'll be like, "Oh, I'm from Cincinnati." No, where are you really from? But this was the opposite. He was telling me he was from country in the Middle East, and I was like, "Nah, where are you from? Because you sound like you from at least like like Pennsylvania. Don't lie to
He's
me."
like that man.
But
He's like that man. That man is from Ohio.
but he knew great Japanese, and you could tell with his interactions and with his reception in the locker room, it
Yeah.
made people feel comfortable. It made people feel safe. And also, we had someone from Taiwan in the locker room, and
Oh,
he
okay.
also knew English, not the best English, but he knew a lot of English. And then
Right.
he also had learned Japanese and was communicating with people in Japanese. So, one thing I just wanted to point out is if you're going to go overseas, do your best to learn the language of the place you're going and also learn the culture, because Japan is very big on respect and kindness and politeness. And I had talked to certain people, and when I told them about my experience, a lot of them were like, "Oh, I would have blown up." That would have made things worse.
Yeah.
You got to be patient. You got to understand the culture. So I just wanted to point that out. After I realized that I missed my flight, and mind you, when I say I missed my flight, it was a matter of when I finally got to the ticket counter to recheck my bag. There were there was a band of 17 students in front of me, on
Mm,
top of 8 people between me and them. So I still had 20 minutes, 25
yeah.
minutes at this point. I could have made it.
Right.
And then there's 3 people in front of me. The band is fully checked out. There's one lady who's churning people out when it's coming to checking people in, and she shut down her station.
Dang.
And I was like,
Dang.
and I'm like,
Dang.
I literally have 15 minutes. I can make this before they close doors. I finally get looked at the gate, the check-in counter, and the lady looks at me. She looks at my ticket. She looks back at me. She looks back at my ticket, and then she rips my ticket in half.
Whoa,
And
what?
I'm like, "Yo, what's going on?" And then she says to me, "Your flight has ended boarding, and they're about to take off."
Oh, that
And
is awful.
I ain't too tough to be like, I was about to shut down. I
Right.
was at a place where I'm like, I worked so hard to get here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
busted my ass to get here. You really about to tell me that I'm stuck here in Tokyo? Which some people might be like, what do you mean you're stuck in Tokyo? Because that's not where I was supposed to be,
Right.
And they're not going to let me just leave the airport. So I was frustrated. I was heartbroken. Thankfully, because of me being calm and patient, and though I don't know a lot of Japanese whatsoever, I learned some stuff that I will say is important. It is very important to learn how to say "excuse me" in Japanese. They
Yeah.
have this phrase that translates to "please be nice to me," and they say it to everyone the first time you meet someone and introduce yourself and give them your name.
Hmm.
Um, and so I will say, definitely learn some of those key terms if you can. Um, but like when I would introduce myself to people, I would say "Beragandes yoroshiku onigashima." You know,
Hmm.
and granted, that probably doesn't sound the best to a Japanese speaker, but a lot of times, I would say that they would know exactly what I was saying. Um, and so, me being polite, me also using Google Translate, it's not the most accurate thing, I know, but it'll help them understand better than if you didn't use it. They
Right.
were able to get me onto a later flight. So I was supposed to arrive at my final destination at 6 p.m. My flight didn't take off until 8 p.m.
Okay. All right.
And
So,
I've
what
been
did you do in
mostly
that meantime?
in that meantime, I tried to find stuff to eat. I tried to find
Sure.
my gate. I tried to find where I was going to go next. Um, I contacted people because I upgraded my phone so that way I'd be able to talk to people
Sure.
overseas. Uh, Another thing I would recommend is either getting you a phone plan that's international phone plan. Like it only cost me $1 more to upgrade my phone to do so,
Right.
or they have these eSIM cards, and I would say turn off your data download an eSIM card, and you can use that while you're overseas, and you literally just pay for however much data you decide to use.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, so I got to talk to some people. They helped me through it. I worked on homework because a lot of people don't realize Paragon's getting his master's right now, and
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
while I was there, I'm like, I got this layover. Let's work on some homework. And I was working on homework while I was doing it. I had a big assignment that was worth 250 points or something like that. So I was working on homework and grinding on that while waiting for my flight. Because that was another thing too. Just because I was I was overseas and put in that work, I still had stuff I had to do. So I also was doing homework, while I was on the plane, doing homework leading to Texas. I did homework when I first got to my hotel room. Oh, and
Yeah,
also shout out to Robert Martyr. Thank you.
yes.
I appreciate it, my guy.
Yeah, he
Especially
was in
because he
there
was
in the chat here saying congratulations.
Yeah, he's one of the people that actually showed me love when he found out I got it, because I know I was happy for him. When he went out there and all his travels and success. I got to meet Robert at Emerge Wrestling, and they have this saying where they talk about like take the picture, and I made sure I got the picture with him. He's a real cool dude. He's a real great guy. He's someone who actually loves wrestling. A buddy of mine named Phil Early used to say there are people who love wrestling and there's people who love their place in wrestling. The people who love their place in wrestling, they just want to gatekeep. They're worried about their spot. They don't really care about the culture. People who love wrestling, they want to make wrestling better and be better in it. Robert Martyr is one of those people who loves wrestling and wants to make wrestling better while he is in it. He wants to leave it better than he found it. So shout out to Robert Martyr. Much love to you. I appreciate you, my guy. Also shout out to Gary. Much love to him as well. And not just one of the best on the mic, one of the best in the business. Just saying. Just saying.
Man, my man, my man. Yes, Robert Martyr, somebody who I see a lot of his posting. Yeah, I could definitely say that he's for the culture when it comes to professional wrestling. He always seems to be trying to speak life into the business, and he's on a come up himself, which is truly great. So awesome to have him here in the chat. But I want to stay with you, man, because a lot of this podcast has really been like your prep for Japan, what you've done and how you handled the disappointment of not being able to make your connecting flight in a timely manner because of customs. You pivoted, you was able to fill your time and kept yourself calm, kept yourself on your square, which is truly great. So if you guys out there are aspiring wrestlers and you're aspiring to go to Japan, listen to some of the little little Easter eggs and whatnot that he's leaving you, the breadcrumbs here that he's leaving you to be able to make a trip like that successful when that time comes for you. But let's talk about the wrestling, man. What was the promotion you were wrestling for?
So I got to wrestle for FTO in Oita, Japan, and I'm gonna be real with you. It was a vibe. It was an experience. It was incredible, man. It was incredible. It's ran by Aji-san, the Skull Reaper,
Hmm.
who actually is also a government official out there while
Wow.
also
Okay.
running FTO. Um, yeah, great guy. Very very solid person. Um, and you can see the love that he has with both the audience and the boys in the back, the respect he has with the audience and the boys in the back. Um, yeah, just a class act, a great person. I got to actually wrestle him on night two, and it was honestly an honor to share the ring with him. I wrestled him and Kaze, which was funny because the night before I tagged with Kaze.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great being able to be at that promotion. The production was great. It had a very intimate theater like feel, while at the same time feeling larger than life. Like it kind of reminded me of like Wrestle Arts meets NWA. Is like the best way to
Okay.
describe it.
Yeah. Okay. I dig the vibe that you're putting out there. It sounds like it was a real dope promotion. How many nights did you wrestle?
I wrestled 2 nights. I wrestled on
Just
the
the two. Okay.
16th and the 17th.
16th
Yeah,
and the
the 16th and
17th.
the 17th.
Absolutely. So, all right, I got some pictures here from you wrestling that night, and I got a couple of questions here because, man, it looked like you were just bit about that.
The mask, or as I like to call it, the la ira. That's the wrath in Spanish.
Yeah.
Mask is my evolution. It's my next stage. It's my next phase. Some people have been like, why are you wearing the mask? Why is the mask a thing? You want to be on camera too, Z? You want to say hi to the people? I, yes, I always want the attention. Um, what's easier to notice when you see an unmasked Rey Mysterio from the WCW days? Do you think of Rey Mysterio, or do you think of Rey Mysterio with the mask on? When you see Mick Foley, do you think Mankind, or do you think Mankind with the mask on? When you see Glenn Jacobs without the mask on, even when he's the corporate or the devil's favorite demon, do you think of Kane, or do you think of it with the mask on? When you hear Batman, if you just see a picture of Bruce Wayne, do you immediately know that that's Batman? You may have an idea. When you see Peter Parker, do you immediately know that's Spider-Man? You may have an idea, but the mask with the name is what holds the power, it's what holds the identity. So with the La Era, I'm creating a legacy right here. And honestly, my goal is that when I decide I can't wrestle anymore and I'm hanging up my boots, even if I don't find the next Paragon, I would love to find someone to pass the La Era down to. So to me, it's my legacy. And I appreciate you feel like it felt the vibe. I mean, I was told recently that I was aura farming while I was out there. And I also will say the look, especially the ring jacket and the gear
Yeah.
was all purpose. There's a guy, Bitter Chain Designs on Instagram. Shout out to Bitter Chain. And if we can even get a clip of this, I would love to show this to Bitter Chain. But yeah, so Bitter Chain Designs has been designing for like the last maybe 2.5 years, the Paragon looks. Whether it's been mask, whether it's been entrance gear, whether it's been singlets and the wrist gauntlets and the knee pads. Him as well as Kobe Designs as well. Kobe King Designs as well has been out here, getting some stuff for me as well. But when it came to the Japan look, um, I told him like I wanted something that felt like if I took this look to England or Japan, it would look like I would fit right in. I want
Right.
to feel like a walking kaiju. I want to feel like a spectacle. And he and I put our heads together and he created the design of both the mask, which we also have a new mask that's coming up too. It's going to be, I call it La Era 2.0. It's going
Okay.
to be kind of fixing some things with this mask. But the ring jacket, the full wrestling fit on both night one and night two were both inspired by his designs and his creation. So shout out to Bitter Chain. But yeah, the goal was I wanted to show my evolution. I wanted to look like both a beast and a king. I wanted to look royal. I mean, even the mask itself, if you look at it, the tip of it is creating a crown, you know? So, and they also got, the logo on the back because, shout out to luchadors, always making sure that they represent their logos when they can. Um, and it's also, the mask itself is also an evolution of me as well. Like if you look at it, the crown also kind of resembles flames and fire, as well as it has the wings around the eyes, and kind of like a phoenix. I'm rising out the ashes of where I have been. It
Right.
also has the eye of Horus and Ra inspirations on here as well to kind of show my beginnings. Back when I was the walking apocalypse and had a lot of the Egyptian themes.
Right.
And then on top of having the logo in the back, as well as having the animal print color, is showing, when I became the world's most dangerous game. The some of the flair and the pop and circumstance are the vainglorious and notorious and world star, of yesteryear around the time you and I met. And so
Yeah.
it's literally evolution as well of the man that became the monster.
Man, I love that. That's incredibly deep. I love stuff like that that has so much meaning, and especially the thing that you are, you're actively documenting your evolution. And I think that's really cool. And I've seen so many incarnations of it over the years. It's been really great to see. Man, I definitely want to hear about everything as far as like the in-ring work that you did, the style that you adapted to there in Japan, and so much more as far as the culture. But hey, before we do that, we're going to take a break. We're going to pay a few bills. Then when we come back, I'm going to have Paragon with me. We're going to continue this chat, his excursion to Japan, and a couple other things. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have.
If you want that sweet hype, we got it. You wanna be divinely designed at yours. Have you lost your voice? We have all that voice merch for you. Are you just a part of the household? We got that too. Brainbuster Tees is where IYH live. Brainbuster Tees is where IYH live.
Hey guys, you heard it there. IYH is exactly what you're going to check out, and that is where we have our store, Brainbuster Tees. That's where IYH lives, Brainbuster Tees. So go check that out, everything that we're doing there. And guys, check this out. We are live right now with Paragon as he is back from his excursion from Japan. A lot to talk about. And if you guys are loving what we are here, what you're hearing here. If you guys are loving being a part of the household, guys, hit that follow button, guys. All right, here on YouTube. Make sure that you are on Twitch. Check us out there. And then after this is over, it will be available the podcast version. I know you podcast listeners are looking for that content. You could pop us in your ears. That's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But once again, I am here with the man himself, the leader of the tribe, the world's most dangerous podcaster, Paragon. And man, we just talked about a lot of things in terms of your preparation for Japan and your amazing mask with so much meaning behind it. I loved hearing that story. But let's talk about the vibe in the locker room and then some of the bell to bell action. Was there an adjustment as far as the locker room? And I know with the language barrier and everything, and you had some people, just like you said earlier, that, there were some English speakers, but what was being in a Japanese locker room like as opposed to being in an American locker room?
Well, one, it was a lot more quiet compared to an American locker room. Um, they also had kind of like little traditions they knew when they were having conversations or doing the meetings. Once again, a lot of honor and respect. Um, I would say American locker rooms, we kind of get a little bit more silly, in a
Yeah.
fun way. I feel like they kind of have fun in their seriousness. And they will have still fun outside of it, but like they definitely come with the mindset of we're here to work, we're ready to work. Everyone works together when it comes to setting up and tearing down. It doesn't matter how experienced you are, where you're at in the business, or where you come from. Because there are times where I have seen people be like, oh, well, I came from 6 hours away from the show. I shouldn't have to help set up or tear down. We had people flying in from Taiwan, different parts of Japan. Which, mind you, people don't realize that Japan may seem like a small island, but to get from Oita to Tokyo, that's a 2 hour flight.
Oh, oh wow, okay.
Osaka is around the, so I'm like, there's different parts of Japan that they create distance. It's not close,
Yeah,
and so even with that being said, like people came from all over. We had people from different countries show up, and yet everyone was helping set up and tearing down. Everyone
yeah,
was greeting every single person. So similar to, in wrestling where, there's a lot of the handshaking when you get introduced to stuff. Now, like it was we shake hands, we introduce itself to each other. We make sure that we're showing love, which also that was another cool thing I recognized in Japan. There were people who had no idea who I was. They could tell that I was a foreigner. And some of them will go out their way to introduce themselves and say hello to me, even in English or in Japanese. So that
yeah.
was really dope. So seeing that both in and outside of wrestling shows that that's a culture thing, not
Sure.
just a, I'm here for the wrestles thing. There was definitely adjustments when it comes to some of the language stuff because there were times where people were trying to communicate, but there was also a lot of patience, and I very much so appreciated that. Something I feel we also could to take more in the American culture when it comes to working with people of different cultures.
A hundred
Um,
percent.
because they would try to say things to me in English. There were some things they were already going to say in English when it comes to how they might call certain things in the match. But then also what I thought was really beautiful was they were willing to be patient with me when I was trying to explain something, and when there was a disconnect, whether I was trying to mime stuff or communicate stuff, they would let me pull out that Google Translate, or they would talk
Yeah,
into the phone for Google Translate, and it just would work so well.
yeah,
But it was an adjustment, and you would recognize that until it came to match calling or having fun because your match went well and you want to talk about it afterwards. A lot of the English speakers kind of sat with each other. A lot of
sure.
all the foreigners sat with each other. The young man from the Middle East, which I know his Instagram handle. I'm forgetting his name, and that's what's making me mad right now. Because he and I really bonded and connected. He's actually also a video game designer, and I'm
Oh
about to
wow,
shout out
okay.
his social media so that way I know for a fact that he's at least getting some love out here because he's such a great dude. Uh, Carnatux, Carnatux on IG. He actually was one of the very first people in his country to actually train to be a wrestler in his country, and
Okay.
he's now living in Japan. We're hoping to get him out here to the States, especially for Fantastic League of Wrestling. Shout out to Flo for helping me get this opportunity, for being a major part in me getting this opportunity. Shout out to John Bullard, one of the best people in the business. If you don't know who John Bullard is, you better find out right now.
Oh, John's
Um,
great. I love John.
and also TJ Chen, Taiwan. He sat with us. Those effing guys, a great tag team in the Midwest. And then also a guy I got to tag with, which was Aaron Norman Daniel. That dude, that dude is so talented. That dude is so talented. He's done a couple of
Yeah.
merge shows,
Yes, he
and
had. Yep.
honestly, it makes me mad how much I don't see him. I need to see him in more places. More people need to see him in more places. Aaron Norman
So
Daniel
good.
is such a great talent, and honestly, I don't think I would have been able to make it through the trip as easily as I did if it were not for him. Whether
That's
it
what's
was
up.
using the transit system, whether it was learning the transit system and paying the bus stuff and figuring things out, like there were a lot of things that I went into, even with a lot of the prep that I had going into it. Which shout out to Josh Crane, shout out to Lord Crew, shout out to Rod Lee, because these were also a lot of people that stepped up and gave me game on how to be the world's most dangerous game out there in Japan. So I also wanted to make sure I showed them some love because they were extremely helpful and they did show indeed a lot of love while I was going to be out there. Um, but yeah, to say that there was some cultural adjustment or just some adjustments as a whole, most definitely. But just being in that locker room made me like, I can't wait to go back. I can't wait, and I
Yeah.
will be going back. I can promise y'all that this ain't the first and last. This is the first of many.
Good, good. I love to hear it, man. Let real quick before we actually get to the bell action, scenery wise, like what was the scenery like? I know you was in Tokyo for a little minute, but like, what was that scenery like outside of Tokyo? Like you were in a different city. You were, I assume, a much smaller town than Tokyo. Like, what was that like?
Oh, Oita, yeah, I'm about to send you some of the, the beauty that is Oita right now. I'm
Okay,
gonna be honest with you, man. It was life changing.
I'm sure.
It had feelings of, you know, of a coast, like kind of like the East Coast, West Coast a bit, had some Hawaii vibes, especially Hawaii temperature, especially some
Yeah,
Hawaii temperature.
yeah,
Um, it was beautiful because like you would see the ocean, and just past the ocean you would see these mountains, or you would see cities, and then once again you see mountains, and then almost it looked like, towns and cities and villages on top of these
yeah,
mountains. Um, the air was just so crisp and clean. The sky was so clear. Um, you know, there are parts where it felt like it was a city, but then it was also very country at the same time.
yeah,
It felt like home. And I don't even mean like, oh, like it felt like Ohio or Indiana, the Midwest or America. No, it just, I went there and I'm like, man, it felt like home here. And
yeah,
on top of that, doing the money exchange there, the stuff like getting food, like 7-Eleven will be your friend because it's everywhere,
yeah.
everywhere there. And it's much different than our 7-Eleven. Like their 7-Eleven is like a mini grocery store. It's a
Wow.
convenience
Okay.
store more than it's a gas station, So 7-Eleven will be your friend. Like you can get full meals at 7-Eleven, whether they're hot meals, cold meals, meals you have to cook yourself, meals you simply have to heat up, a plethora of drinks and snacks. Like it was a vibe. 7-Eleven will definitely be your friend. Also because when you want to do the money exchange or like take money off of your debit card, 7-Eleven is perfect for that. They get you the exact amount you're looking for from US dollars to yen. And it's crazy because I calculated how much in one day I spent at 7-Eleven in US
Really?
dollars.
Okay.
So, or more so, how much it would have also cost me in the US as well. So, at 7-Eleven in US dollars, I spent, I want to say one time, I spent like $20 on a bunch of things that in the US would have actually cost me about 65.
Wow.
Like I went in there, I got like so there was one time I went in there, I got three drinks, two bags of chips, a couple of rice balls. One was a smoked salmon, a grilled salmon rice ball. Another one was oh, I think I left that one in Japan. Dang, it was a spicy it was a spicy herring rice ball. I'm mad about that one. It was so good. Um, but yeah, rice balls. And then I also got some it was a cream bread. There's a lot of things that we might look at almost like a donut or a sweet treat there. A lot of them they call breads there.
Yeah.
Um, Also milk bread I got. All that in total was $4.
$4?
$4 US.
Dang. Dang, that's crazy, man. Like, yeah, you was out there. You could have made got a lot with just a little bit of money, man.
Shoot, they had this place in the Tokyo airport. So it's teppanyaki, and it was sirloin on a stick. Some of the best
Oh,
steak I had ever had in my life. Probably the
really?
best. Mind you, and I cook a really good steak, and I'm like, this is the best steak I've ever had in my life. And this steak on a stick cost me $1.75, if that.
That's insane. Ain't no way you can get steak here in the States for that cheap.
Especially not steak that good and as much of as I got, so it was a whole vibe, man. It was great, and the culture there, whether it was the culture in the locker room, whether it was the culture in the city and the scenery. One thing I will say though, for people going to Japan, like I said it before, really tap into the culture. Don't
Yeah.
be on your phone on public transit. You know, don't be talking on your phone. Don't be FaceTiming. Very similar walking down the street. You could be on your phone using GPS, but like it's considered rude to be on your phone out in public.
Wow. Okay.
Because they're very big on being the moment there. It's a respect
Yeah.
thing. Um, and
I
also
dig
just the
that.
noise pollution. It was very quiet there. Also, one thing that they have that we definitely should get in the States, they have a always crosswalk, which honestly reminds me of my time at Ball State, because there's a very specific stop at Ball State where all of the lights are red and all of the walkways are there, so you can walk diagonal across the street if you want to.
Okay.
And a couple of those in Oita, and I believe they have some of those in Tokyo as well. That's definitely something we could definitely use here in the States, having an always crosswalk. But yeah, just it was a different culture. But like I said, it felt like home. It makes sense to me why back in the day a lot of wrestlers or athletes or musicians or artists would move to Japan. And I think it's just because like the culture there is just so rich. You
Yeah.
know, we're such a melting pot here. We either lose our culture or create not the greatest ones here. And I feel like there it was just so rich, and I don't look forward to a lot of things. As you heard me say here, I wasn't excited until I got to the venue.
Right.
I am excited to go back. I feel like the second trip, I'll be excited when the ticket is bought. I'll be excited when the flyers released. I'll be excited when the hotel is gathered. I'll be excited once I take off on the plane when I land. And then I'll just be overjoyed once I get to the venue because
Sure.
that's how amazing the experience was.
Well, you've had the experience now, and you've seen how great it can be, and that's the most important part, is that you've done it now. So now when you go back and do it again, you're like, I know what to expect. I know what I'm walking into, and it was truly a great experience, man. As somebody who will one day like to go to Japan, I'm super happy for you and proud of you, bro, in a big, big way. But of course, let's talk about what brought you to Japan, and that's the wrestling. Let's talk about your matches, man, because you wrestled 2 nights, like you said, and I want to ask you, like, you're somebody, I love your style, man. Like, I've always loved your style, whether I've just been watching you commentating your matches or being ringside managing. Like, it's a very like I don't know how you feel about these comparisons, but like sometimes it feels like Taz, sometimes it feels like Pete Dunne. You know what I'm saying? Like, so these are the vibes that I get when I watch you wrestle. And like, I say those with the utmost love and respect because I love Taz and I love Pete Dunne. But like the cultural change, wrestling wise, more of a stronger style there, in the Japanese culture. What was that adjustment like for you as far as the in ring, and how were the matches for you? Did you learn a lot from them?
Well, one thing I would say is I think my recent evolution, especially with the mask, has kind of, and honestly over the last couple of years as well, because I don't know if you've noticed, but like even at Emerge over the last year, even with my title reign, I had kind of started to become more and more of a powerhouse, and
Yeah,
not as technical as I used to be. I still try to put it in there, but like it just feels like I've been very more of a powerhouse type of person.
right.
And over there, I got to use some of my technical prowess, but very much so I was powerhouse over there. Like I would jokingly say I was Samoa Taker because it felt like I was wrestling more of like a Samoa Joe and Undertaker over there. Um,
Sure.
but the adjustment was, using the power, hitting the strikes. I mean, shoot, like I had raised bruises across my chest from getting chopped, and yet the whole time I would get hit, and I'm just like, what is this thing you just hit me with? Now it's my turn. So, um, but believe it or not, though, it was very cool. And honestly, their rookies and their green guys are leagues ahead of ours. Like I know a lot of people say
Really?
this, people get mad, but like just the talent and how they tap in and how even when they're learning themselves, they're still sure of themselves, and it's not frowned upon there because I feel like back when I was coming up, if you knew who you were while still trying to learn and evolve, then you were considered arrogant. Out there, it feels like it's an expectation of, yes, you're green, and we're going to acknowledge you're green, and it's okay to acknowledge what you're not comfortable with. But if you are sure of something and it's of yourself, then be it. Like Ryoma and Mihori, I got to work with them on night one, and I know they're both, greener than me. I know they said Ryoma was pretty young in the business,
Sure.
so talented, so talented, so talented. very, very in tune with ring stuff. Um, and though there are areas where you can see like, oh yeah, there's probably some greenness there, it still was an incredible time. It still was an amazing time. And like I said, I cannot wait to go back because I would love to work with them again. I would love
Sure.
to be able to tango with them again because it was just that great of an experience.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you walk through the curtain, man, like, and you realized this is happening. I just walked through, and I'm sure it was more like retrospective thinking after the moment because you were, you were in there, you were Paragon, you were locked in. But like when you realize, dang, I walked through that curtain, I did it. I really wrestled for a Japanese promotion. Wrestling brought me to Japan. Like, did you feel that in the moment that you walked through, or were you just like so locked in that you had to think about that at a later time, or has it even struck you yet?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had this really weird moment. I had this really weird moment where I stepped through that curtain, and I would love to say how locked in and in tune I was because I was,
Yeah.
but it didn't feel like I was the only one walking through that curtain.
Hmm.
It felt like I looked to my right, and it was the little kid. It was KJ
Sure.
who kept telling his family he wanted to be a wrestler one day, and they kept saying he would grow out of it.
Mm.
And he was also wearing my mask, wearing my outfit, standing about to my chest or my ribs, doing my entrance with me. And then I looked to my left, and there was Jamie. There was the me in 2019 that didn't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And he got to see how far we came. And so it felt like I wasn't alone going out there. It felt like I got to show the younger version of me that we made our dreams come true. And I got to show the me in my darkest place it was worth hanging on. Um, and so when I stepped through that curtain, I was kind of glad I had this mask on because I was like, I don't know how my face is going to react. I don't know how my emotions may be. All I know is that I feel humbled. I feel grateful. And if I hang up my boots today, I made those two people proud.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Like, yeah, that's heavy, bro, in a real way. Cause 2019 is when I kind of got linked up with you, whatever, and I know that you're in a tough spot. And man, to see how far you come has been absolutely amazing. Like, it's just a testament to don't give up and hold on because here you are now working for a master's, doing things like wrestling in Japan and made a name for yourself, making championships like the Emerge championship, a world championship, and just doing all these amazing things, man. So I personally am glad that you're still here. I know many others are, man, but like it's just so cool to see somebody that I've worked with so closely, admired, think that is incredibly talented. And I know I've told you a million times because I'm one of those guys. I'm not like somebody that came from the business where it's like, oh, don't tell him how good he is. Like, damn it, I'm gonna tell you how good you are. That's just how I am. That's how I'm hooked up in my DNA, and I can't change that. So like you're incredibly talented and just happy, man, because like in a way, being so close to you, it felt like I was living through you having that moment. So like I'm just real happy for you, man, and real proud of you to be able to have such a moment that I know for a fact has been so important to you and a milestone, a goal that you've wanted to do for a very long time.
Well, I will say this real quick. I made a post where I said, I'm not going to Japan. We are going to Japan. Um, and the reason why I said that is because of people like you, because it's people like you who had my back, who supported me, who were there for me at my worst or seen me at my worst. I mean, hell, you and I know, and a lot of people may not know this. You and I have butted heads and have had our words and had our differences, but then also we've also broke bread and have shared people's homes and hotel rooms and all that stuff. And it's like it's a moment where when you see how you have gotten somewhere. A lot of people love to be like, I'm self-made.
Yeah.
When you're quote unquote self-made, still someone had to help boost you there. You had to step on someone to get there, which means you still had help
Yeah.
in some shape or form. Even if it took an opportunity, even if it was just your first customer, whatever, someone still helps you.
Yep.
Um, and I'm gonna put over my friend real quick. You know, Alicon House and Jordan Bell were two people who, when I was thinking of walking away from wrestling, when I was struggling with my mental health, when I was just ready to just throw in everything, these two gentlemen, they had my back like a purple mattress. It was full comfort, grooved all into the aches and pains and stuff. And I think what was very important when it came to the likes of the two of you is having people remind you who you are,
Yeah.
not telling you what you want to hear, telling you what you need to hear. And sometimes that's correcting you. Sometimes it's letting you know you fucking up. Sometimes it's letting you know that hey man, you on the right path. Why you talking bad about yourself?
Yeah.
Sometimes giving you your flowers, and sometimes giving you a kick in the ass. And I just wanted to say thank you to you, whether it was the platform you gave me years ago to be a guest on the podcast, whether it was the time that we were the three heads and it was you, me, and Bell hitting the pod, whether
Yeah.
it was letting DPW be successful as it is whenever we actually fucking record. uh, but it also, more importantly than that, allowing me to be a friend. I'm someone who doesn't really believe I have friends, at least not locally. And knowing I have someone who I can, hey man, I got this new design for this gear, for this shirt, or
Yeah.
hey, man, I'm in town, I'm gonna swing by and I'm gonna beat up on Elijah Wan and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
get beat up by Livy.
Yeah.
you know, whether it's like, hey, Khan, on September 13th, your boy's returning to WTF, and so he needs you to pull through and have it be Paragon and the Khan house pulling up on Uncle Q, Apollo Stizza Star.
Oh,
He's throwing that out there. It was just dropped and announced today. So
yes,
if you
I've
want to
seen it.
pull up, and be there right by my side. But it's just when you have someone who has your back. In my opinion, you were there with me in Japan,
Right on,
especially
man.
because it put that responsibility on me of I can't just do well. I have to make sure I leave a positive impression because I used to be in the business of proving people wrong.
Sure.
Now I'm
Sure.
in the business of proving people right. And to me, that's harder because when you're in the business of proving people wrong, the only person you let down is yourself.
You're right.
But when you're in the business of proving people right, that means for every single person that believes in you, for every single person that whether they want to give you an opportunity and they entrust you, whether it's the people who tout your name on social media, whether it's the people who say the moment you come back from Japan, I want you on the pod, whether it's the people who simply are just like, hey man, I believe in you. You got this. You don't want to let them down. It's not just about you anymore. And so thank you. And I hope I made you proud.
Hey, man, you are constantly making me proud. I'm always here as a member of the tribe. You guys see it right here. You guys feel it. You guys feel the vibe. The most trusted advisor to the leader of the tribe. And man, I'm just so damn proud of you, man. I mean, I just really am to see everything that you're doing, man. And just hell yeah, man. Keep fucking going, man. Because if anything, this is just a sign for you to keep on going. Because seeing you there, like I said, it felt right. The vibe felt like something that should be happening. You being in Japan just feels right, man. I mean, I remember back when we were doing the set real heavy, and I remember when we were in Vegas, and a lot of awesome moments in Vegas. I always tell that story. Shout out to our guy over here. He's talking about good job in Japan.
He
I was
said,
just skipping
we
chickens.
are live. We.
But I remember we were doing some stuff there in Vegas, and it was part of the set. And you had the suit, if you remember, the Armani suit, like. And I remember I told you one time we were on the phone a little bit after that, and I was like, man, you remind me of like a yakuza, bro. Like that's what the vibe that you was giving off, like a yakuza. I remember telling you that, and you. So always you being in Japan was just always perfect. But I just feel like you're one of those cats that you're like plug and play, man. Like you can put I can have you over in the States, and you can adapt to that and have really great American style, matches and American style promos, entertaining. You're very entertaining. Or you can go over to Japan. You plug in real well over there in Japan, in my opinion. I think you plug in real well in like the UK. Hell, I think you plug in really well in Mexico as well. And I just think that you're just one of those guys, man. So like, I
Cough, 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 cough,
yeah, let's
cough.
make it happen.
No, I'm saying I'm there. Japan opened up some doors, so there are some
Oh,
other countries that might be coming down the pipeline. So this jacket I'm wearing right now, that's blank. Today I'm taking it to a seamstress.
ooh,
Right here
okay,
is going to be right here's going to be my logo. On the back is going to be my mask with the phrase for the tribe. Down this arm is going to be my logos and catchphrases throughout the years.
yeah,
But down this arm right here, this arm is going to be the African American flag, so I can rep
yeah,
my people.
yep,
It's going to be the Black America flag because I may be American, but I'm still black,
right.
and that's also the first place I wrestled. Underneath it's going to be Canada. Underneath it is going to be Japan,
Here we go.
and the goal is to fill up this entire sleeve.
With
And I don't
different,
think I'm
yeah.
going to be able. I don't think I'm going to be able to hang up my boots until I get at least to the wrist.
My man, most definitely. I'm loving it, man. I love where your direction is right now for sure. I was loving this episode too, man. I definitely loved hearing all aspects of your trip and everything. And I know you got a lot of things going on, man. Your bookings are gonna start picking up. I'm speaking into existence. Your bookings are definitely about to start picking up. I definitely saw that you're gonna be at WTF. I saw that dropped on social media sometime earlier this morning. But man, I'd be remiss if I didn't get some of your thoughts on what's going on currently in the WWE. Now, I'm not saying we're going to talk all of Monday Night Raw, anything like that. But some news came out from Monday Night Raw. We all know it. I talked about it at the top of the show, and that's the huge news with Naomi being pregnant right now during what many, including myself, say that was headed to be a generational run for Naomi since the gimmick change. But I also know that on different interviews, she said she's wants to start a family. She's in her later 30s, and the truth be told, this is no diss on anybody, but it's more difficult to have a child. When you get a little bit older. On top of the fact that there was spoken on interviews that's well documented that she had some fertility issues, but like it came at a time where not only was she having a generational run, but she's also the women's world heavyweight champion. Looks like she's gonna have to relinquish, or she did relinquish the championship. But like, you saw that news, man. How did that hit you when it finally got confirmed? Because we've heard about it for the last week or so, that might have been why she missed her match on Raw last week. But like
Yeah.
now it's official. What was that like? How did that hit you? Because I'm a huge Naomi fan.
Oh, it was so bittersweet. It was so bittersweet because as a fan of her, you're both happy and sad. You
Yeah,
know, as someone who hasn't been blessed to be a parent just yet, the only child that I would have had, is with God. Um, you feel that pain of someone wanting to be a parent and not being able to.
yeah,
Um, and so you hear the news of a miracle and that excites you. I mean, hell, like I'm a miracle baby. My mom was told the same thing Naomi was told. My mom was told
oh,
she could not have kids. And
wow,
then when
okay,
mom got pregnant with me, she was then told there was a growth growing inside her quicker than I was, stealing her nutrients and my nutrients. And they said, if you cut the growth out, cool, but you'll lose the baby. If you don't, you'll both die. You could always have another kid. As you
right,
see, I'm still here, and so is Mama P. So it's a blessing and it's a miracle within itself. So
sure,
knowing what I went through, what my mom went through, I'm so excited for Naomi on that front. Because at the end of the day, fuck wrestling. Go have your kids. Go have your baby. Go live your life.
Yeah.
But then on the other end, as somebody who was a fan of Trinity back when she was in FCW, as
Mm-hmm.
someone who was a fan of Naomi on the first ever and only women's season of NXT when it was still a game show, as someone who saw her as a Funkadactyl and was so mad because I was waiting for her to get her just due, as someone who saw her become the SmackDown Women's Champion twice, as someone who was so pissed when he found out that she got released on some old bullshit
Mm-hmm.
and then saw her become the TNA Impact Women's Champion, who saw her come back to WWE and who was saying for months and months on months, like, yo, they got to turn Naomi heel. I feel like they're making her a black background character, and she's too damn good to just be in the
Mm-hmm.
background. I'm like, and granted, with Bianca's star power and whatever they're doing with Jade, it feels like Naomi being a face, we're not really getting to see what she can really do. And then they turned her heel, and it was done so beautifully. They let
So
her be
perfect.
her. And like just all the little tiny things and all the things they were doing, I'm like, I love this so much. And then she wins Money in the Bank, something I kept saying she was the only right choice for it. She
Right.
wins Money in the Bank. She cashes in how she does, beating the two top people on Raw. You can say whatever you want about Liv Morgan, say whatever you want about Becky Lynch. No, the top women on Raw at that point in time were Io
Io
and
Sky
Rhea.
and Rhea Ripley.
And she beat both of them and did it twice. And I'm like, yo, this is Trend's moment. And the heel work and the mic work and the evil laugh
Mm-hmm.
and the way that
Yep.
she's getting to be herself. You know what it felt like? It felt like for years we saw Rocky Maivia,
Yeah.
but we liked Rocky Maivia, but we knew that there was something more there. And it
Sure.
felt like Trinity finally became The Rock. She
Yep.
finally got to get that chip on her shoulder. And because you know what? You know where I saw pieces of it? Team Bad. When she was a
Oh
part of
yeah, when she was
Team
with Team
Bad,
Bad, yeah.
and she was in her bag right then, and I was like, I wanted that back. And this feels like this makes Team Bad Naomi seem like an afterthought. You forgot about it because the thing
Yep.
is, what she's doing right now is such incredible work. The whole crowd is chanting, "Proceed with caution," because she's over and she's
Yep.
killing.
She hooked him.
And I'll tell you this, I love Bianca. I think Bianca is very underrated. I think Bianca gets disrespected by a lot of fans and other wrestlers. But I think the
Mm-hmm.
issue with Bianca is Bianca came in as a babyface when she probably should have came in as the heel Bianca we had in NXT.
Yeah.
And I feel like Naomi is doing what they were trying to do with Bianca on the main roster because Naomi's heel. But when you saw last night, I saw so many black women wrapped up in caution outfits. I
Yeah.
saw so many little black girls in the audience holding up signs or wearing Naomi merch, whether it was old Naomi merch or present Naomi merch.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Bianca hasn't been that. What I'm saying is Naomi is in that stride right now of
Mm.
she's so undeniable that fans can't deny her even if they wanted to. Fans are allowing dumb crap to allow them to deny Bianca. But with Naomi, she's just so undeniable and she's in her bag. And it's like, you are now hitting your stride. You went from being a contestant to a manager to someone who didn't get their just due to then finally getting to somewhat touch that upper echelon, but still being a background character even while holding the title, to you get released just for you to come back and show every single person what they were missing all along, both while you were gone and now you come back. And now you're at that prime where it's like, we talk about when is someone's prime in wrestling
Yeah.
and when somebody's prime in sports, and everyone's prime hits different. And right now is her prime because
Yeah.
she's firing off on all cylinders. So as a fan of Naomi, it's sad to see this happening. But as a fan of Trinity, and as a fan of being able to make your goals and dreams outside of wrestling come true, I'm so proud of her. That's
Mm.
where I'm at with it. But my thing is, how are you feeling about it? Because I know you also are a fan of Naomi, and I know we both, especially through our ties with Sam, we got our ties to the bloodline and whatnot.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
how are you feeling in all this?
Man, I gotta tell you, man, I don't know how much more. I don't know. I mean, WWE could just sign the entire Fatu family and have an entire roster of talent right now, man. But seriously though, like I'm so happy for Naomi, and I mean that sincerely. Like at the end of the day, and I put this on social media a little bit earlier. At the end of the day, forget the championships, forget the accolades, the career accolades and whatnot. I'm happy for the person because I can tell, I can sense it inside of her, and she's been with Big Jim for. They've been married for a while now, and Big Jim has a couple of children from previous relationships
If
and
we don't
whatnot.
stop calling him big, you know what makes me more mad about the Big Jim thing is the fact
What's
that she
that?
put the championship on the Slim Jim, the Jim part.
I love it, man. Listen, he's Big Jim now. She cemented that, but like. I'm sure she's feeling like, man, I love my stepkids, but like, I'd really love to have one of my own, and her like women like her and Bianca Belair, uh, wrestling wise, of course, I applaud them, but I applaud them as women because Montez Ford also has children from previous relationships, and she just takes them and raises them as their own. They both do it, and I just think it's a beautiful thing. But like, I could definitely see. Naomi, like, hey, she's at that point where she wants to be a mother, and like, also, once again, like I said, she had some fertility issues and didn't think it was possible. So, like, you know what, man? All things got to stop for stuff like that. As a father of three, I definitely know the joys of being a father. I know the frustrations of being a father too, but the joys of being a father. But just happy for her, man. Like, definitely, like you said, definitely agree with you when you're saying that she was hitting her prime. Absolutely. I mean, just everything about her, the entire aura was different. The way she cut promos, the way she was carting herself around the doggone motor, the motor briefcase or whatever she had, it was just wild. On top of the moment that she had at SummerSlam, where her father got to play her
Yeah,
in, that was
yeah.
beautiful. Black Fathers Matter. It was just an amazing, beautiful moment. And like, even in a short run, she got the chance to have cool moments like that. But once again, happy for Trinity, man, because like it can be done. It can be done. I saw something earlier and I didn't understand it. It was such a weird question. And they said they put it on their social media. I forget who it was, but he said, do you think that Naomi is going to come back is over as she was before after she's done being pregnant, or you just think that she's washed? And I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, that's what an incredibly like narrow-minded thing to say, because like she's she's going to come back better than ever. She's going to come back better than ever. I mean, look at Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch came back, and for my money, I think Becky Lynch is on a hell of a mid-card championship run right now. I really admire what Becky Lynch is doing. Becky Lynch came back after she was pregnant, and she came back and she got to work, and I just think that's just going to be another thing for Naomi. I think she's going to come back when she's ready. She's going to be that time where she's going to want to be close. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to see Naomi right after the pregnancy. She's going to want to be a home and be a mother. She's not going to want to be just jumping right back on the road. But when we do see Naomi and she does feel in that, she does feel that vibe that she's like, all right, it's time for me to kick it back into gear. She's going to be as ferocious as she was before. I dare I say, I think she's going to be even better than she was before, from being going through that, becoming a mother, being, having the experience. And then there's going to be the moment where I'm like, man, there's going to be that time where I want my child to see what mom does in the ring, and then that's going to hit even more different. So like, that's how I feel, is definitely like, oh man, like what an amazing run that I knew that she was about to go on. But I don't care about that, man, because none of that matters, because she's hitting a different goal right now, and that's the goal of becoming a mother.
Yeah, and I think
So
that's the
yeah.
key thing. People
Yeah.
people don't recognize that when it comes to this wrestling stuff, there's some things that are more important than the ring. While I was over in Japan, I was talking to the guy I told you who also spoke English, and
Yeah.
one of the things we were talking about is some people allow wrestling to encompass so much of their life. that they don't realize and they don't understand. Like, wrestling is only supposed to be a part of it. It's not supposed to be all of it.
Right.
And I think the best way that I say this all the time. Some people chose wrestling when they should have chose therapy.
Oh man, that's a fact. Oh man.
And so for everyone
Woo.
who is trying to shame, Naomi for like, oh, this is the worst time you could have done this, and what about this, and what about that? Yo, fam, like you choosing the wrong hill to die on right now.
Relax, bro. Cause if not now, there might not have been another time.
Exactly.
That's where I'm at with it, man. Is I'm happy for her, most definitely. Wrestling's gonna be here when she comes back, ladies and gentlemen. Is like I know, especially if, wrestling fans are mostly males, for the most part, so they can't understand like the specialness of having a child. I can't understand the specialness of having a child. I have children, but I haven't bared a child. You know what I'm saying? So like that's completely different. So like wrestling will still be here when she comes back. Let her live her life. I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm so happy for her and Jimmy Uso. They've been together for a while now, man. They've been together for quite a while. So like
And
it's just
also, and
very
also,
beautiful.
if she doesn't want to come back, that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Maybe she wants to
fine.
go be a mom. And if she does leave, she's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean,
The
multiple
period. Like that's it.
multiple women's tag titles. I think what, three or four women's world titles. If you don't include
For
TNA, if you include TNA, that adds another one. Money
Yep.
in the Bank winner. The first,
Yep.
I believe, she was the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion.
She was. And she also won one of those championships at WrestleMania.
Exactly. So I'm like, instead of y'all worrying about what could have been, be grateful that if she does decide to walk away, she had a long career. She got to have two runs in WWE, got to become a world champion in between those runs when she was not there. She got
Yep.
to do things with her friends. She got to build friendships. She got to
Yep.
do a lot of sweet and incredible things. And allow people to be great, even if it's being great outside of wrestling. Because these are some of the same people that were pissed off when Batista left WWE to bet on himself, but were sitting front row when he was Drax the Destroyer. Like let people be themselves. Let people grow.
Exactly.
Let people evolve. Because for some people, wrestling is a part of them, but it doesn't have to be their everything.
Sure. Sure. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And you're absolutely correct when you say that Naomi has done some incredible things. But, bro, so have you, man. I want to bring it back to you in what you've been doing, man. You have done some incredible things. You got some dates coming up, man. And you're always doing something. Not only and I love that you said that, there's other stuff to do outside of wrestling. You do a lot of things outside of wrestling. So I want to thank you for coming back on the show, coming on here, and being once again an amazing guest and just well documenting your time in Japan. It was just so great to hear. I loved hearing every last second of it. But I want to give you that opportunity, man, to plug anything that you want to plug, upcoming appearances, where they can catch you wrestle. I know you mentioned WTF, but I also know that tomorrow you have a comedy show. I'm not going to spoil everything. I'm going to give you the floor to plug everything the Paragon is doing.
Well, I appreciate you for that. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be performing in Columbus, Ohio at Y'all Ready for Us. So please show some love. Please show some love. It'll be at 7 p.m. You can go check my social media page and see the postings about it. Um, on top of that, I will be returning to WTF. It's been 3 years. It's been 3 years since I stepped into a WTF ring, and I will be going toe to toe with one of my mentors, my Uncle Q, Apollo Star, and would love if maybe a certain con man could be by my side when that happens.
Where are they
Um,
running at? Where's WTF running at? Are
you
they going
know
to be in
what?
Fort Field? Or are they going to be in Anderson?
When I get the info, I'm gonna send that to you. 'Cause
Okay,
I
just let me
believe it's
know
a new
because
venue. I believe it's a
I
new
know he
venue.
either runs in Fortville or Anderson.
Yeah, I believe it's a new venue this go around. At least that's what I was
Oh, okay,
told. Yes,
okay,
I don't know. I don't know, but it sounds like it's gonna be dope.
okay.
Um, on top of that, I'm going to be taking a small break just so that way, I can give my body some rest because I've been going
Recharge those
nonstop
batteries.
with wrestling and traveling. I will be at the Zucchini Fest in Ohio. You'll get to see Paragon return to New Ohio Wrestling. And that'll be in Obitz, Ohio, not too far from Columbus. I'm going to be doing some clean comedy in Columbus, Ohio, September 20th. And then on top of that, I'm going to be returning to Emerge, where I'm going to be defending that championship against another Japan traveled wrestler, Lord Crew. It was all love, leading up to the trip. But once we get in that ring, that's when the love goes out the window. Because, he talked
Oh
big
yeah.
and he talked tough. And that's because he is big and he is tough. But he ain't the world's most dangerous game,
No.
And I stand on that. That's on Mama. That's on Tribe, you know. And then after that, I'll also be returning to Flow Wrestling in October. So I got a lot of stuff coming on. I'm also going to be debuting in Minnesota. So stay
Ooh,
tuned
okay.
for that. Stay tuned for that because it's coming. It's coming down the pipeline. But yeah, so just keep your eyes open, keep your ears out, because you never know where you're going to catch the world's most dangerous game. I'm probably going to be trying to add even some more dates coming up because, hey, why not? I don't just conquer one territory. I'm trying to conquer all of them. I planted my flag in Japan. I planted my flag in Canada. I might be in Mexico. I might be in Vietnam. I might be in Taiwan. I might be in the UK. I might just be in a neighborhood near you. Anybody can get it.
Yes, sir. Anybody can get it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the world's most dangerous game. The leader of the tribe. And when he's here at In Your House, the world's most dangerous podcaster, Paragon. And man, just a great conversation. Want to thank my guest so much for coming on. Well, we just did this on the fly, y'all. I've been hitting him up. I've been bothering him. Even when he was in Japan, I was like, hey man, let me get you when you come back. Let me get you when you come back. And we was able to make it happen. So one final thank you, man. And one final, I'm very proud of you, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you. It means a lot.
No problem, man. Guys, you already know the vibes here at In Your House. Check out everything we're doing. Check out the link here if you are on YouTube, if you are on Twitch, and then later on when we are there on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Check out the Discord link that is in the description right down below. So make sure you check that out. And while you're at it, hit a tribe sacrifice on that follow button and make sure you follow everything that is going on at In Your House. Also, our fantasy football league is live, ladies and gentlemen. It is live for an opportunity to win prizes, for an opportunity to win merch, for an opportunity to come and guest host on the podcast. That's right. It is the In Your House Fantasy Football League, the Championship League. Come and check us out, everything that we're doing, guys. You already know the vibes here. We put in that work. It's HOWSE, and the W stands for work. So for the world's most dangerous podcaster, Paragon, and the entire team here at In Your House, I'm Olakan, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah, yeah. In your house with Okan. Hey, Okan in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys. Just making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smooth.